Asa! We gotta bring Mom cream. How are you stuck? Well, come on. We gotta bring Mom cream. You want to stay there? You need help? Yeah. Okay. Are you driving the tractor?
Yeah.
Good job.
Come on!
Alright, naughty chicken.
Yeah.
They're in the barn waiting to be milked.
For milk?
Well, open the gate. Daddy needs to get through. Daddy can't crawl through. You shut it for Daddy.
I don't want to.
I need you to shut it, please. Asa.
How did you get it out?
Yeah. Daddy's hands are full. We got cream. Got cream for dinner. Good job.
Bring me my cream? You did bring me my cream? Thank you. Dad shook it up.
I did not.
There's no cream line on that.
Bogus. Look at that again. It's the best cream line you got.
Whatever.
I need jars though. Might as well get those now.
Yeah, well, then come in and get them.
Don't touch it.
Double?
Well, sometimes they need help. Open it up. Open it. Here. Good job. Can you shut it for Daddy? Shut it.
Dad, wait!
Okay.
Wait!
Okay. Everett is tired from the weekend. He went with his Uncle Colin and Aunt Lauren to help them put up Halloween decorations. So he was excited about that and had a long day with that. And then him and Asa went to a corn maze with Grandma and Grandpa. Was that fun? Did you like going to the corn maze?
Yeah.
Man, a few words. Hey, can you go turn the pump on? I forgot to turn the pump on. Hey, I need to go turn the pump on. Don't step in the poop. Hey, no thank you. That gets that everywhere in the barn. Yeah, go turn the pump on. So it's just the three of us milking cows today. Ugh. Alright, so I got hay in front of the stanchion. The pump is on. Time to get Muffin. Muffin is always our first cow to milk because she is a first-time heifer. What? You using a shovel?
Yeah.
That's called a pitchfork. Muffin is a first calf heifer, which means she's only had one calf, and her teats are super small. So I have special inflations, or teat cups, whatever you want to call them, for her smaller teats. And then I have to switch those out for the two older cows and their older teats, I guess you would say. She went right in there. This is just soapy water to wash the teats off. The nice thing about using the bucket milker is you don't have to get super crazy with washing the whole udder because it's just going onto the teats and the rest of it is closed off. If you were hand milking, you'd want to make sure you wash the whole udder off because anything could fall into the bucket. What, buddy? Oh, good job. Do 3 squirts of milk out on the floor. That gets rid of the cap. That kind of seals off the milk. That's the milk that's known to have the highest bacteria count is in those 3 squirts. So we just get rid of that. And we're also looking for any imperfections or anything we don't like in that first 3 squirts. And then dry the teats. Strap. Just like that. That's the other nice thing about the bucket milker is it frees you up. I mean, she probably only takes 3 minutes to be milked, so you really can't do a whole lot while she's milking. But like Sadie takes a long time. She's probably closer to 10 minutes. Nellie's more at the normal 6-minute range. I'll usually pitch up hay with the kids or feed the calves or tinker with the tractor a little bit while they're being milked. So it's nice to have that extra time to do some things. A lot of my chicken chores, which are the heart and soul of this homestead, I don't do while I'm milking cows just because of the cross-contamination. Chicken manure and milk isn't really a good thing. So, I mean, even though you're going to keep your hands clean, wash them, I still just don't like the idea of that. So I don't do any chicken chores. For this being our slow season, we have a lot of things going on. These pigs are getting butchered this week. This little gilt never really grew a whole lot, so we'll probably just keep her for ourselves. But these 2 barrows look good. Pretty happy how they turned out. It's actually been hot, believe it or not, so they've been rolling around, making a mud mess. There's actually a lot of dirt in there, so they make some pretty good mud. What's wrong, Lockie? What's wrong, buddy? So as far as our hatchery goes, right now is definitely a slow time. All our hens are molting. They all look horrible, not getting any eggs. So, I mean, being a hatchery in the springtime is great. You know, you're selling a bunch of chicks and everything is great, but comes down to late summer, starts getting rough. And that's why this weekend I worked on these pens in here. And I'm starting to bring some chickens in. This isn't my final sort yet, but starting to sort out some chickens and figure out which ones I want to keep inside this winter and do some breeding with. Honestly, I hate bringing them inside for the winter, and not all of them are going to be able to come inside. Right now, total, counting all the chickens we have, of all ages, we're probably up to 1,200, and I'm doing that for multiple reasons. To stay with the restaurant that we're with, they want 15 a week, so that's 700 and some roosters that they need. So I need pretty good numbers for that. So I'm looking to do most of that for this winter. Did you get all the hay moved?
Yeah.
Good job. I mean, honestly, they were pretty lenient and willing to work with me, But I mean, we have to make it worth our time because they want them weekly. So we have to make it worth our time of hauling the chickens up there and all of that. So 15 a week is a good number. That was a good number that they wanted. That's a good number for us. So that's what we're shooting for. So that's where all those numbers come from. This year we had 200 hens in our breeding program, and I don't really want to get a whole lot bigger than that. Well, I shouldn't say that. I would like to have 400 this next summer, and I don't think that that is anything ridiculous. There's a few ways to get good breeding stock. One way to get good breeding stock is to micromanage the chickens that you have. And by that I mean mating 1 rooster to 2 hens or small groups like that, and trying to figure out what that good combination is to get that perfect chicken. And then you're going to hatch out those eggs and be very careful on what you hatch out. And that works great for a smaller homestead style breeding program. But for us, that's just not going to work. I would like to do a little bit of that and figure stuff out, and that's kind of what I'm doing this winter. I'm bringing in some of my best hens. I'm looking at having 10 to 15 hens from each of my 3 breeding groups and breeding those this winter and seeing what we come up with. But as far as us, we're not micromanaging each group. We are picking out what are good quality hens, good quality roosters, 3 different breeding groups so we can rotate the males around. And we're hatching out as many as possible. So we kept probably 1,000 chicks this summer, and we're raising those out, and we're going to find out which ones are the healthiest, which ones look the best, which ones have the best growth rate, which ones have the bluest legs. I mean, right down the line, we're looking at all that stuff, and we're not going to keep, say, there's going to be roughly 500 hens. We're not going to keep all 500 of those hens. Shh. What are you doing on the tractor like that? That's not what a tractor says. We're going to look through that and wean out the ones we don't like. You only keep your good ones. You don't keep all of them. You don't want to micromanage it, hatch just a few eggs, and try keeping all those as breeding stock. That just doesn't work. So for us to get a decent amount of hens, we got to hatch out a lot of chicks. Don't think that we're hatching out 1,000 chicks and going to keep all 500 hens. That's just not how it works. Obviously on the roosters we can be even more judgmental and get the best. So it's working?
Yeah.
So I've been getting a lot of people messaging us asking about chicks and when we're going to have more availability. There definitely will be more availability soon. We've just not been getting many eggs right now. Come on, girl. I know you like the hay. But I'll get you more of it out there. Come on. Muffin. Let's go. Hey. No. Come on. Muffin girl. We're going to get these hens back laying again, and we'll be putting more up there. We plan on shipping all winter long, right into next spring. Obviously, the number of chicks we can ship will start to increase after the first of the year, once we get more sunlight. Come on, girl. That's 80. Come on, girl. So my biggest dilemma is this coming spring. So there's been a lot of you asking about pre-ordering for the spring. And I'm assuming you're asking that because you didn't follow us this last spring. Or you followed us and you still believe in us, which that's also great too. But For those of you who haven't been following us, last winter I pre-sold chicks, a safe number. I already knew how many hens I was going to have. I already had the hens. Well, they were pullets that I was growing out at that time. They were hatched much later than the ones I have this year. So I felt comfortable pre-selling a certain amount of chicks for the spring. And then the weather was just absolute horrible. It'd be hot and cold, hot and cold. All these pullets are outside. They didn't start laying until super late. So we got way behind on our orders. And it was absolutely miserable. A lot of you stuck with us and were very nice and kind and patient. We really appreciated that. But we just don't know. Like, in the midst of all that, I said I would never pre-sell again. But now, I'm still saying that, but I'm afraid. You guys that want to make sure you get chicks in the spring, you want to start locking in something soon, because if we don't offer the pre-sale, somebody else is. And I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I'm looking for you guys to help me out here. What would you like to see, knowing how bad this last year went? I mean, we didn't get caught up until the 1st of August, I think it was, once we finally got caught up. Well, I shouldn't say that. We would have been caught up on the 4th of July, but we had a mishap with the post office and the chicks, and they all got returned. What would you do? Part of me says, look, we're going to have plenty of chicks. So, because right now we're putting the chicks up on our web store when we put the eggs in the incubator. So that means you can purchase them up to 3 weeks in advance before they ship. And that's still guessing, right? I put up 50% of what I've set in the incubator, which is a safe bet. But we could still get less than that. Drop down. What? You're not going to fall down. Cat?
Yeah. Go.
So I would like to continue with that and just put them on the web store every 3 weeks. So just put on the web store. Oops, turned it up. So I'd like to continue with that program and just put on the web store the chicks that I'm setting in the incubator, so you can order them 3 weeks in advance. And I think that's the safest bet, but I don't want that to deter a lot of you guys from buying chicks from us. If you're set on pre-ordering for the spring, does that mean you're going to go somewhere else? I don't know. So please put down in the comments what you guys think, what you guys want to see. I know some of you have already bought chicks from us, so maybe, you know, you don't care, you're just following along for the journey, and that's great too. But I still would appreciate your opinion. You still have an opinion on it. You've bought chicks before. So put down in the comments what you think. I tell you one thing, if we do decide to sell some pre-orders, it's going to be even more conservative than what I did this last time, that's for sure. And, you know, you're just relying on Mother Nature, and you never know what it's going to bring. So I can be super conservative about it and have plenty of chicks. So, or we could have the same thing happen. I don't know. I don't want to pre-sell like we did this last year and disappoint that many people. That just can't happen again. I really value your guys' feedback, so if you put that down in the comments, what you think, if we should sell pre-orders, if you guys are fine with ordering them 3 weeks in advance. Running a hatchery isn't the easiest thing to do, but we're doing it. If it wasn't for Liddy, I'd have had to give up a long time ago. She's super good at the customer service portion of this, and she's actually really good at boxing up the chicks and figuring out the weather and what they need. So this year was a great year as far as survival, which I can't say we've had a bad year, but I'm just super impressed with how well she does with that without having any information. Nobody coached us on this. We're really hoping to be able to coach you guys that want to open up your own small homestead hatcheries and help you guys start, because it is a skill and an art to look at the weather in Michigan and where they're going and figure out how many holes to pop out, if they need a heat pad, you know, what all they need in that box to survive. We only had 2 major mishaps where half of the box of 25 died, and sadly those are both ones that I sent out. She was busy doing something else, and I said I'll take care of it, and yeah, I guess we both learned from my mistake. I don't know if she needed to learn from my mistake though. So all in all, it was a great year shipping out chicks. We're definitely past the prime. So anyways, thank you guys for your support. Me and Ace are going to finish up milking these cows. Oh, don't forget about Lockie. You're not sleeping back there, are you? Mom's going to be mad if you're sleeping. You guys have a good night.